Hi all, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to my cosmic corner of the internet where we discuss all things astrology. And today, eclipse season spring 2021, what the Sagittarius Lunar Eclipse on May 26th and the Gemini Solar Eclipse on June 10th has in store for you in your life. It is eclipse season, which is cosmic course correction season, fated new beginnings and ending season, and basically chaos season, if we're being frank. My mentor always used to say that people run around during eclipse season with what he would call eclipse brain, which is feeling like you have to make this now or never huge decision. Like, I've got to move to Morocco and sell all of my belongings. I've got to break up with my boyfriend and run away with this musician I just met. I've got to quit my job and sell all my belongings to go be a YouTube van vlogger. All sorts of really chaotic decisions, and people have this feeling of like now or never. So I'm letting you know what endings and beginnings are taking place within your life and within your chart, breaking it down by rising sign, as well as giving general advice and information about the eclipses themselves. Before I do so, if you wouldn't mind, if you learned anything new, if you could just drop a like, comment something below, turn on notifications, subscribe only if I've earned it. And without further ado, let's dive into the video. So with the eclipses, we know we can expect this sort of chaotic energy with a lot of people running around wanting to make a huge shift in their world. Hear me out when I say, unless you're being eclipsed, hold tight on those chaotic new decisions. It's very important to understand that during these eclipses, we also will be in Mercury retrograde. And so if you're familiar, Mercury retrograde is a time where there tends to be more miscommunications, technical difficulties, misunderstandings, and focusing just on that piece. With Mercury in Gemini, Gemini is very trickster energy, so I think this one in particular is going to be even more chaotic and kind of silly and just give you no other choice but to laugh. Like, that's how Gemini navigates through their world. It's like at that point when you're like already late to turn in your paper, your printer decides not working, so you run to a friend's house to print off they're out of paper. You ask their neighbor and you're able to print it, and then you go to your car and you have a flat tire. Like those sort of situations where it's just such a mess that you just, what else can you do besides laugh, right? So with Mercury retrograde, it's going to be a trickster energy, and it's really important to keep a very logical and objective state of mind. It's important to keep that playfulness of Gemini, of being able to laugh, being able to joke around about the issues that transpire, as well as a logical sort of objective view. With eclipse season, a lot of us are contemplating major life decisions. With Mercury retrograde, it's really a time to reset, recalibrate, and review. So it could be a time that you sort of are catching up on, okay, what is it that I want to focus on? Would this shift really be in my best nature? Is this shift really what is missing from my life, or is it just me trying to distract the healing I need to do? There's really an opportunity with these eclipses to sort of notice what comes up, certainly acknowledge it, but almost take that airy, objective analysis and be like, okay, where are these emotions coming up? Do I really want out of my relationship? What would a move really do for me? All of those questions. And I wouldn't make any major decisions. Now, sometimes you're eclipsed. That basically means a decision is thrust upon you, you're fired, someone breaks up with you, your landlord kicks you out. That's an eclipse. That's when you get eclipsed. You don't have a say in the matter. I'm talking about decisions where it's like, it's you doing it, you're feeling all these feelings, and it's like acting on it, which eclipses are a chaotic energy. This is why it's astrologers' busy season, is because everyone's like, I need to change my life, I need to change something. So if you're being eclipsed, obviously you don't have much say in the matter, but if you have a say in the matter, I would highly recommend seeing how you feel just after the eclipses. End of June, just see how you feel. See what Mercury retrograde wants to sort of bubble up for you, and also see how the smoke lifts. And I say that because Neptune is a focal part of the second eclipse as well as the Mercury retrograde story. And Neptune is the planet of illusion, confusion. And with so much Neptune, we're not seeing things clearly. We're seeing things from sort of an emotional point of view. And it's sort of like this knee jerk of wanting to believe the dream is out there. If I just do this, then I'll be happy. where it's not coming from a super grounded or even rational place. We're not seeing things clearly. There could be information you're missing to make the best decision, or even, not being totally equipped with what the problem is. So with Neptune such a focal part of the eclipses truly, and the Mercury retrograde, wait for the smokescreen to lift. Neptune is a dream. Neptune fogs. Neptune confuses. We're not seeing things clearly. Eclipse season is a time that we run purely on emotion and purely on this like sort of chaotic energy. Take a beat, breathe, see how you feel by the end of June. These eclipses are meant to bubble a lot up. There could be a lot of realizations coming up. Definitely acknowledge them. I'm not saying suppress it. Like if you're getting feelings like this isn't the right relationship, this isn't the right city, this isn't the right job, appreciate that realization, journal on it, break it down, but don't take any drastic measures towards it. Now, so that's if you have a big decision you're contemplating this eclipse season. Let's talk about if you're eclipsed. So when you're eclipsed, it's a major decision that is thrust upon you. And it's important to note that particularly in ancient astrology, it was considered that eclipses were kind of a malefic omen. It wasn't a time of like manifestation and things coming to the surface. It was sort of a time that the gods gave and took away. Endings and beginnings that are beyond your control. And depending on your belief system, maybe you can think of it as like a soul contract or like karma or something that was just decided, outside of you. And eclipses are typically karmic activations or karmic shifts that are needed for your journey. So if you are eclipsed, there's an ending within your world. I want you to anchor in to the belief that this is truly for your highest and best good. And that's hard to do sometimes. But when it comes to North Node, South Node activations, it's typically not that we have a whole lot of say in the matter. It's typically things that were needed for our soul's development, or just part of like a karmic contract that we had with someone else, and just now that chapter of our life is through. It is truly for your soul's best interest. I got eclipsed and it was so painful at the time, and looking back on it, I absolutely see why that wasn't meant to work out and the role that area of my life had played, and that it was time to let it go. But when something's being ripped from you, you're like, what? I don't get it. But with time comes healing and comes perspective as well. So if you are, if something is taken from you during this eclipse, or there's an ending that you weren't quite prepared for, anchor in the fact this is for your soul's best and highest development, and keep moving forward. It's also important to note that not every eclipse rocks our world. Not every eclipse is timed with these huge shifts, and I'll break down the two eclipses and who will feel it the most. I will say mutables. My mutable loves are the most impacted by this. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, and I'll break down the degrees in a little bit. But not every eclipse is an eclipse for you. So if you're not feeling these things, don't feel left out. There will be other eclipses that are very transformative for you. Just an important note I wanted to make. So now that I've kind of shared my overall eclipse tips, I want to break down the two eclipses before I take it rising sign by rising sign. So the first eclipse is May 26, 2021, and it is a Sagittarius lunar eclipse on the South Node. So I'll break down what all of those mean. A lunar eclipse simply means an eclipse on a full moon. So it's a full moon eclipse. And we know that full moons are times of completions, fulfillment, culminations. With it on the South Node is loss, letting go, and sacrifice. So there's an ending brewing within our worlds. So there is a letting go, there is a loss, and there is a shedding. There's something that is leaving that is not to be returned with this eclipse. Before you get really freaked out, consider it is in Sagittarius. So it could be letting go of a dream for your life that no longer resonates or is no longer realistic. It could be a travel plan that you need to reschedule, or a vision that you have to shed, or a belief system that no longer resonates, a religion that no longer resonates. There's this culmination, this fulfillment feeling of our worlds, and there needs to be this sort of shedding, this sort of sacrifice, and this letting go in order to make space for what's rational, what makes sense, moving into Gemini. So it's almost like with Sagittarius, we have to keep in mind this is the archer, right? It's got the bow pulled back, arrow at the target, and Sagittarius has this constant need to be expanding, to feel like they're on a quest, they're on a journey, always moving forward, always moving forward. And it could be that this vision you had for your life isn't panning out exactly as you thought it would. And it takes that shedding of that particular vision, that particular belief you had, in order to lean into what is working and what is expanding within your world. North Node Gemini, what makes sense? Grounding down in our immediate environment rather than constantly fantasizing, well, if only I was living in Bali, if only I had this, or if only I could go here or do this. This constant looking for out there. And whereas Gemini is like your immediate contacts, like grounding down in your neighborhoods, grounding down by understanding new information, as well as just using your mind, what makes rational sense, even if it's emotional to have to let go. Like, okay, it looks like I'm not going to sell all my belongings and go be a van vlogger. Allowing yourself to let it go, because when it comes to the North and South nodes, it's very karmic, and it's sort of something that needs to be shed at this particular leg of the journey. And the Sagittarius eclipse does square Jupiter, so there can be this feeling around wanting to run away from this ending, or feeling like there is like a little bit of optimism with this ending, because the ruler of the eclipse is Jupiter, who is also squaring this eclipse. And there's this sensation that it feels like an optimistic ending, like at a graduation when it's like bittersweet and you're saying goodbye to all your high school friends because you know that portion of your life is over, but it doesn't make you love them any less. It's sort of this ending around like, okay, I've got to like let go of this particular aspect of our life, and we'll break it down rising sign by rising sign, but I'm so excited for what's upcoming. Remember, it's about this like quest and expansion, right? Just be mindful, of course, when Jupiter's involved in an eclipse. Try not to party away the grief or go to excess, as both Sagittarius and Pisces, that's where Jupiter is, Pisces, are subject to do. See when you can ground down and just grieve this particular ending, feel all the feels that come up, rather than trying to run away from it or to escape from it. Sagittarius eclipse will be at 5 degrees Sagittarius. This eclipse will be felt the most if you have mutable placements, that is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, between, let's say, 0 to 10 degrees. So the second eclipse is June 10th, 2021. It is a Gemini solar eclipse on the North Node. So let's break it down. Solar eclipse means it's on the new moon, and North Node signals gain. So before you're like, okay, I'm going to do this powerful new moon ceremony, I would honestly recommend not doing so. I don't recommend any sort of like manifestation work or spell work around eclipses. In ancient astrology, it was considered quite ominous, and people didn't want to go outside. It was considered a more malefic omen, a time that the gods or the universe gave and took away, sort of out of our hands. So it's not the time, even though this does feel like a little bit more positive of an eclipse, kind of. I wouldn't do anything about it. Just there's a beginning taking place in your life that's more so to a soul, karma, universe perspective, whatever word resonates with you. And it's sort of out of your hands. Just think about it. Eclipse season is like a roller coaster, and we're along for the ride. So this eclipse is gathered with Mercury retrograde. It's also the ruler of the eclipse because it's in Gemini, obviously. So with this, there definitely seems to be this feeling of not having all of the information particularly present, as the eclipse does square Neptune. Again, we don't have all of the information at hand. So this is not the time for chaotic new beginnings or just drastic new starts. Because with the square to Neptune, we could be keeping ourselves in a dream about our new start. There could be information about this new dream that we're embarking upon that we don't totally understand. It is a stabilizing force because it trines Saturn, which is longevity, which is responsibility, which is what's rational in our world. So the starts right now could be very significant, particularly if you're a placement that I'll mention of who's most impacted, but it's sort of a time walk, don't run with what's transpiring now, because we need Mercury to be direct and out of its shadow before we really are able to start working on this new start within our world. The placements that will feel this fresh start eclipse the most are mutable placements, again, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, between 14 degrees to 24 degrees, because the eclipse is at 19 degrees. So pay attention to what transpires on these two eclipses. Like what happens around the 26th is probably something that needs to be let go of, something that needs to be surrendered, to something that needs to be sacrificed within your world. So you know, you get in a fight with someone around that time, like that might be a little bit of a signal that that's something that you're letting go. Maybe not with this particular eclipse, but maybe during the next eclipse. And pay attention to who you meet, what opportunities come your way during the second eclipse, June 10th, because it could be the beginning of a story of what you're building and moving forward on in your life from a very soulful perspective. So with that in mind, I'm going to break it down rising sign by rising sign. Not every eclipse is transformative for every sign. Don't want you to use any fear when considering these eclipses. I think they can often be this sort of fearful thing or something that we get scared around. So just listen with an open heart and open mind. Unless you have a mutable placement or angle within those degrees that I spoke about, it's likely not going to be that crazy of an eclipse for you. Okay, so listen with an open heart, open mind. So another quick disclaimer, I am so sorry. If you utilize whole sign, these horoscopes will be exactly where they're landing in your houses. If you use Placidus, check the degrees of the eclipses I specified. So 5 degrees Sagittarius for the first eclipse on May 26th and 19 degrees Gemini for the second eclipse on June 10th to see which houses they land in within your chart. They will most likely be the ones I specify, but sometimes if you have an ascendant at a really early or really late degree, depending on also where you were born in the world, sometimes it can land in the house prior or the house after. So in that case, you'll listen to the horoscope prior and the horoscope after until the houses line up with the sector of the chart that those eclipses land. Aries risings. The first eclipse on May 26th on the south node is in your 9th house. So you might be letting go of perhaps a higher education plan that's no longer in the cards for you any longer. Or it even could just be that your dream of like getting your master's, getting your PhD, you're realizing, I don't really need to do that. Like that was a dream centered in other people. I want to like learn a trade or do what I can with my education right now or take these classes, get this certification. I don't need this prestige and this academia to be able to pursue my life's work. Other Aries risings could be letting go of travel plans. They could be letting go of spirituality, letting go of religions that no longer serve them anymore. It's like, okay, I appreciate the gifts that this frame of life and the belief system gave to me, but I'm sort of ready to let it go. And the second eclipse on June 10th is sort of this new start in regards to third house matters, which is communication and your immediate environment. So again, it's like almost letting go of wanderlust in a certain sense, or like letting go of adventure is out there and my life begins out there as soon as I book that trip to Bali, as soon as I get into this PhD program, as soon as I spiritually awaken, then life starts. Whereas with this eclipse, it's like life is happening right now. Ground down in your immediate surroundings, people you see every day, in the ways that you can learn, just even from your own bedroom, like enrolling in a new class or getting in a new trade program. There also could be an expansion in terms of sharing your voice in some way, writing, blogging, boosting up your social media presence, just something around empowering your voice and speaking your truth, honestly. My Taurus risings, what you are letting go of with the first eclipse on May 26, 2021, is this feeling around merging and being able to fully rely on other people. You're kind of realizing that the only person you can truly rely on in terms of taking care of you or providing for you is yourself in many ways. So you could be letting go to a stream of income that you had come to rely on, like income from your parents. There could be, your partner could suffer a loss of income and you suddenly need to step up and start earning more for them. There's sort of this feeling around, wow, I really thought I could surrender and sort of trust this, but I'm realizing that was sort of a dream that I had and I really need to step up and be self-sufficient for my own life. There also could be a culmination in terms of a grief that you've been processing. And it could be psychologically processing an ending within your world or processing, a person that you lost that you love. We would never want to let go of someone that we love. Their memory always stays with you. But if it's something that's been weighing on you really heavily, it could be this energy around, I love this person. I'm going to cherish this person with everything I do. But it's time for me to find some movement forward within my world rather than staying sort of stuck in the past and sort of stuck in this crisis situation. Now, what new beginning is sort of unfolding for you with the eclipse on June 10th is around your income and your self-sufficiency. So you could find that you either, get a raise around that time, or that you connect with someone that will lead to a raise, or that you really are having this fresh start in, I know my worth and I know what I can provide, and kind of getting a karmic boost in terms of your money-making ability. So it could be a time that you align with individuals for second stream of income that you're building, or a time that, you know, you start something that's going to make you money in some way. And furthermore, start something that really allows you to value yourself and be able to move forward. My Gemini risings, my main characters, all eyes on you in the middle of the ring, just like a circus. You're the main character of these eclipses. You just are. Like I said, not every sign experiences eclipses the same. You're center stage, my friend. And what you're letting go of around May 26th is something in the realm of relationships. Before you panic and think it's a breakup, it doesn't necessarily need to be a breakup. It could be shedding this dream or this vision of what you wanted your partner to be, this ideation that they can never like really live up to. And this nodal axis is really about letting go of sort of our fantasy and how we build things up to, and anchoring into how they are now. Because oftentimes your partner, when you sort of take off your rose-colored glasses and take them down from the pedestal, they're even more beautiful and amazing than you even could build them up to be because of their flaws and all of their nuances. So it could be letting go of, hey, it looks like you're really just not going to close the cabinets every time you're in the kitchen, but I love you because it's like a cute quirk, and I'm just going to let go of feeling like you're not the one because of your quirks and because of your flaws. So there could be letting go in that sense. Some Gemini risings will be letting go to relationships, to partnerships that have outlived their course. And other single Gemini risings could be letting go of this notion that someone else is going to save you. You know, with the house that holds Sagittarius is like this ideation, this energy of this person is going to take me away and take me somewhere, right? And so there could be this energy around having to shed that feeling that someone's going to rescue you. And in return, and because of that, on June 10th, the eclipse is really a fresh new start for you. The person that you are, taking center stage within your own life, taking accountability for your life, being self-sufficient for yourself. It's really an exciting, highly visible time for you, Gemini risings. So although it could be rocky, it could be a bit chaotic, anchor into that this is truly for your best good. Trust yourself, choose yourself above everything else. With North Node in your sign, if someone is giving you an ultimatum of like, you need to do things my way or leave, your answer is leave. This is really a time to prioritize yourself and your vision, because with South Node in the 7th house, it's sort of a time to let go of other people's opinions and what they want you to be. Even if they're a close relationship to you, it could just be that it's ran its course, and that's okay. My Cancer risings, there could be a letting go in regards to a job that you've done, a way that you were helpful, certain tasks that you had. It could be a time around May 26th with that first eclipse that you have to fire someone or like let go of someone that you hired, or it even could be that you are no longer working at that place of employment. There also could be letting go of a dream around getting a small animal, getting a pet. There could be an ending in regards to your pet. And before you freak out, don't worry, I don't want you to listen to this like, oh my gosh, like Fluffy, something's gonna happen with Fluffy. Not necessarily. Like the way that things manifest sometimes it's like physically like letting go of this notion that like getting a new cat is gonna fix all your problems, or like letting go of the notion that your ex doesn't want split custody of your guys' dog. Like sometimes it's like shedding a belief system, particularly with this eclipse, a belief system around it rather than necessarily being a concrete ending. So listen with an open heart, like I said. There also could be an ending in regards to a health struggle that you've been dealing with for a long time, that has been, sucking the life force out of you. Finally getting like, some sort of answer, finally being able to put that to bed. Or, if you've been trying some sort of health procedure or something like that, could be a time that this is just, the end of the chapter for it. The end of the chapter for it, or it's not necessarily meant to be at this time. It could be letting go of a diet that doesn't work for you, or that was leading to other detrimental causes within your world, of just sort of tying that up with a bow and letting that be. And with North Node and with the second eclipse on the 10th, it could be a new start in terms of prioritizing your own healing. Like this axis, these eclipses are really about getting less busy, having less clutter and stimuli. That's what these eclipses in your 6th house have been. So if you found you're not that available to take on extra tasks at work. These eclipses, there's really a lot of work in terms of getting comfortable within your own solitude, within your own spirituality, and within your own healing journey. And just be mindful around escapism, like I mentioned, with all of the Neptune in this. Just burying your head out of the covers, being like, I don't want to do this work. Like all of these really painful subconscious memories are surfacing up, and I'd rather fill myself up with clutter and fill my schedule up with clutter rather than deal with it. This eclipse is a brand new start to be able to deal and do that deeper work in a brand new way. So some Cancer risings could start therapy during this time, or just take a proactive measure of being like, I need to dive in, deal with my healing. Some Cancer risings might be getting more into their spirituality, so on and so forth. My Leo risings, the first story for you could be around letting go of a particular creative project. Maybe it comes to fulfillment. Maybe you finish that particular piece and you put it out to the world, and it's almost like this deflating feeling of being like, wow, this was my baby, and now it's out there, now it's done, and like, now what do I go for? What do I move towards? You know, Sagittarius eclipses, especially on the South Node, are kind of this energy around a loss of faith or a letting go. So there's almost this energy of some creative project coming to completion, but it doesn't give you as much happiness as you initially thought it would. There also could be a shedding around a dream that you had to have children. Maybe you realize, you know, it's just not realistic that I'm having children at this time in my life. There could be an ending in regards to not a serious relationship, but a more like flirty, banter, talking stage kind of person, just realizing, I don't see a future here. Let's just let this go. Or even giving up a hobby that just no longer, you know, I resonate and no longer enjoy doing. Forgive the voiceover, I am so sorry. I explained this quite poorly, and the Leo risings deserve a proper explanation of the eclipses. So the first eclipse, May 26, impacting your 5th house, is this letting go of the themes I just mentioned. And I additionally want to mention there also could be this letting go of partying. 5th house is the party entertainment sector of the chart. So it could just be that, you know, you're drinking with your friends, you're looking around like, why do we do this every Friday? Like, I am not inspired by these immediate people, and sort of just redefining your definition of fun and your definition of leisure. What new beginning is transpiring within your world with the second eclipse on June 10th, 2021 is this fresh start in terms of your hopes and dreams. Like, you could find that you thought your life was going to look a certain way, but you're starting to have new dreams that you want to move towards. You could find that there's a fresh start in terms of surrounding yourself with people who do inspire you, different colleagues, putting yourself out there, networking, your professional networks, really boosting so that you're inspired by the people around you, that you're motivated by them, and that they also could help you with your own career opportunities. So largely this eclipse story is typically around not wanting to just do things that are fun or just for their own sake, which of course you're Leos, you guys are fun by extension, but it's almost like wanting your time to be built towards something a little bit more constructive, wanting to sort of propel yourself, wanting to put yourself out there. 11th house is also large audiences, which can be digital as well. So some Leo risings could have a brand new start in terms of their social media presence, websites, things of the like. My Virgo risings, again, mutables are getting a significant boost with this. Let me just make it clear in case you're new to my channel. I'm a Virgo rising, so I'm in here right with you guys. And the first eclipse is right on my IC. It's conjoining my IC, so praying for me, praying for you, praying for all of us. So let's break down the two eclipses. So the first eclipse, May 26, is in our 4th house, which is home, family, and emotional state. Now, before you get scared or like, oh my gosh, an ending of my family, no. Don't allow your mind to go there. It could be just a letting go of a certain idea of faith you had around home, like feeling like you wanted to move and then you put in an offer and it just kind of doesn't work out. Or some people could be moving, honestly, tying up their past home with a bow, moving out of their apartment, sort of saying goodbye to that particular residence. You could be, you know, letting go of a particular roommate or to a particular living situation. There can be a letting go in regards to a family member in yours conflict of some sort, or maybe for some individuals, if, you know, the relationship with your family isn't great, maybe it's just like letting go of putting so much energy into fixing it and just being like, okay, it seems that we're not in the place where we're able to really build forward our relationship. I'm just going to let go of that particular dream in order for my happiness. Because this eclipse, it almost feels like this culmination and this shedding, and it's something that we need for our own emotional freedom. Like if you're a Virgo rising, likely your IC is Sagittarius, not always, but There really is this freedom that this eclipse is giving to your emotional state, the core of your being, your foundation. So although it's painful, although it can be sad, although it can be grieving, it's almost this energy around, but now I'm more free to be happy, to find things that genuinely fulfill me, to find more freedom within my world. So these are all themes that could come up during this eclipse. Now, with the second eclipse impacting your 10th house, and perhaps for some Virgo risings, your midheaven, there is a propelling into the spotlight. You can be getting a lot of opportunities. You could be getting a promotion. You could be stepping up your authority. You could get really dialed into your new career. You could have your business blow up. It's really a time of stepping fully into the spotlight. So that's why that previous eclipse is kind of creating space within your personal life so that you have time to fully dive into your career, put yourself out there, and you're definitely being propelled into a different level for yourself. Libra rising, for you, there's a story between your 3rd house and 9th house. So the first eclipse is in your 3rd house, most likely. And for you, it's this letting go around needing to be the authority of your own life or always needing to be right, and this welcoming in the wisdom from other people. With the South Node in the 3rd house, there could be this like energy around like having to let go of maybe a particular subject that you've studied and just being like, I need more education around this. This does not particularly soothe me, or like letting go of always being really, really rational in some cases and leaning more on faith, honestly, is what these eclipses are around. Letting go of same old, and always seeing the same thing every single day and opening yourself up to something new. And that could be via courses, via spirituality, but it's almost just letting go of like the status quo, just realizing I have one life. I want to learn all the things. I want to have a bigger picture for my world. I want to feel like I'm going on a quest, going on a mission. So it could be a letting go of something, whether it's moving away from a neighborhood that you've grown up with, disconnecting with, online or physical communities where it's like, I just no longer resonate and we no longer think the same, or even completing a course or something in the 3rd house arena. And it's important to say when I say course, 3rd house is more very technical skills, whereas 9th house, which is 2nd eclipse, which I'll get into, is more so abstract knowledge, higher learning, sort of what widens your expansion on this world. So there's a shedding of same old. 3rd house is our immediate environment, our neighborhoods, our communication, small talk. There even could be like a letting go of people that you just kind of keep in your life because it's convenient, and it's almost this energy where it's like, I'm not inspired by you. Like, why do I hang out with you? And then the second eclipse on June 10th, 2021 is in your 9th house. So it's almost this brand new start in terms of expanding your world. You could find, maybe not at the time because Mercury will be retrograde, but you could find it's a brand new start in terms of moving abroad or going on a trip abroad, or you enroll in a new program for higher education to get your PhD. You're realizing, I'm not content with this, this trade school or whatever it was. 3rd house is very practical, knowledge and education, which doesn't make it have any less value. There's just this beckoning from your spirit to really see the trees for the forest, really focus on the big picture, really expand your mind and your perspective on this world. A brand new start occurring. There also could be a brand new start in terms of your spirituality and your religion. Studying a new topic, or even like going on a spiritual retreat, something like that. But of course, be mindful with Mercury retrograde. My Scorpio risings, for you, there's this journey. The first eclipse could be timed with some sort of loss of income, and it could just be like a big expense comes up, or you are physically losing a stream of income that you had come to rely on. There also could be this energy of shedding this mindset around your own value, like feeling like you don't amount to anything. Like maybe if your world and your finances have been shaped with, everything that's been going on, there could be this feeling around like, I'm going to stop beating myself up, and I'm really going to rebuild my value and my self-esteem. So it could be letting go, whether it's letting go to a stream of income, letting go to a toxic mindset that you had around money or you had around your own self-esteem. There also could be an energy around getting rid of belongings, getting rid of possessions, realizing my happiness is not tied up into these things. I've been in this rat race of materialism. I'm just done. I'm just done trying to compete with everyone. There's just no point. None of this belongings are truly making me happy. Scorpio rising is energy that goes deep. And then with North Node in the 8th house, the second eclipse is sort of a brand new start to allow other people to support you, whether it's, you know, a partner, allowing yourself to receive the money from, like receive support from them, your parents stepping up to help, or money coming to you in another way, in a passive means, in investments, in you know, debts being paid off, whatever it is, really allowing yourself to be supported, whether it's by the universe, by your parents, by your partner, but realizing you're not in it alone, and to open yourself up for support to reach you in different ways. There also could be sort of taking time to really grieve within your world. Oftentimes, you know, with like the story I'm really seeing playing out is like almost, you could have been in this rat race within the last couple of years of like, gotta acquire more things, gotta buy more things, that you weren't taking time to really dive into maybe like how to deal with a loss, or we all kind of collectively dealt with a loss just with everything going on. I've heard YouTube doesn't like people saying the word, so I won't, but like not having time to really grieve that change or grieve that transitions, because it was like, gotta make more money, gotta be on the go. So it's sort of an energy around recalibrating what value really is to you, and taking time to grieve, taking time to go deep and to acknowledge what you've been suppressing or haven't really been dealing with. Sagittarius risings. So South Node in the first house, you know, people always get a little bit scared about it, but there really is some sort of false self that needs to be shed here. So it could be always identifying as the party girl. And like with this eclipse, you're like, I'm tired of being the party girl. I don't want to drink any longer. That's just not for me. Or it could be like always identifying as this thing, always being the helpful one in your group of friends. It's almost this energy of taking off this false mask and being like, can you just like see me as I am? And can I see myself as I am? Can I let go of what I thought my life was going to look like, or what I thought I was going to look like, and lean into what's happening now? The second eclipse is a brand new start in terms of relationships and partnerships and any sort of one-to-one connection or bonding. And it could be a time that you really like find someone who's super aligned for you, very, very compatible. And furthermore, with North Node there, you really grow through, honestly. Let me be clear that South Node in your first house can be a very difficult, confusing, murky time. There can be this sensation of not recognizing yourself anymore, no longer identifying yourself in the same way, or almost feeling like a stranger to yourself. Some people report feeling out of body, feeling a little bit disoriented, confused. And there's also the sensation, especially as a Sagittarius rising, you're typically sort of living your life as a quest on the search for meaning. And there can be this feeling that you don't feel equipped or confident to sort of steer the boat of your own life, and you're relying on other people a little bit more. And I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with that. A huge focal point of this nodal axis for you in particular is the magic that can occur when you lean on other individuals. What you can create, whether it's in a business partnership, a friendship, or relationship, together can be more powerful than what you can create on your own, and that it is okay to ask for help. Whether it's diving more, you know, leaning more on your partner, leaning more on your therapist, having conversations, talking, because it could be a time that you just aren't feeling as certain and that your mindset is just sort of confused. So be open to ask for help and to allow other people to support you. My Capricorn rising could be a shedding in regards to a trauma or something underlying that you're just ready to let go of. You've done the work, you've dove deep, and it's just like, I'm ready to sort of purge this from my being. I'm ready to let go of this particular ending. I'm ready to wrap this up. Of course, those things are always with us, but there's almost this energy of feeling more free once you really shed that area of your life. And you're like, I no longer resonate with this. I no longer connect with this any longer. It's like purging out an ending of some sort within your world. The second eclipse on June 10th is sort of a brand new start in regards to being of service to other individuals. It could be a brand new start in terms of a new job that you take on, or a brand new start in terms of your health or your service, or even a small animal. Maybe some Capricorn risings will realize how healing it is to be around small animals, particularly as you're sort of coping with these deeper underlying things that you've been having to bubble up and deal with, dialing into your healing process. But with that second eclipse, it's almost like in a very physical, real way. So with this axis, it's really this energy around taking practical matters to heal psychological wounds. So you're sort of letting go of always diving into, you know, escapism and dealing with what's underneath, and moving forward in your life in a very practical, tangible way. So dialing into your health, dialing into your diet, noticing I'm so much less anxious when I eat like root vegetables, or when I cut out meat, or whatever it is, or when I do soul cycle, like finding those physical material ways that make you feel better. It also could be diving more into service, like serving in a soup kitchen and realizing the wonders that does for your mental health. Sort of like physically finding ways to dial in your day-to-day to find the ways that you can most effectively heal and take care of yourself. And that absolutely could be a small animal too, because 6th house is small animals. My Aquarius risings. For you, this story is about shedding opinions of others, trying to fit in with other people, with the collective, and really shedding groups that no longer inspire you or enlighten you. And that's okay when you're no longer inspired by the people around you. Like, there's almost this energy of like looking around and you're just being like, you know, everything that transpired these last couple of years showed me I don't really need any of you, and I'm more inclined to like do my own thing. So there could be some sort of fallout with a friend. It could be letting go of a particular professional network. It also could be letting go of a hope or a dream that you had for the future, a certain vision you had for your life, and it's being like, that no longer resonates. I want to express myself. I don't want to conform to your vision. So there's a shedding around a vision you had for your world, a particular friend group, or like a professional network that you're like, I don't need to get super dialed in with the event planners because I no longer want that for my world. So with the second eclipse, June 10th, it's a brand new start in terms of your creativity, expressing yourself. You know, you're Aquarius rising. You're here to dare to do things differently. So if you felt like you had to be stuffy every time you're with that, you know, professional happy hour crew, like you had to wear blazers, and you're like, that's just not me. With this new start, it could be starting a new creative endeavor you're really passionate about. Some Aquarius risings could be starting a new journey into motherhood or fatherhood, as 5th house is children. There could be a new journey bubbling up in terms of romance, in terms of fun, just living a life that truly expresses yourself and is about you. Of course, you're in Aquarius, so you're the sign of the collective, but it's almost this energy around like, I'm still gonna serve the collective and be a humanitarian, but I want to express myself and share my voice and find my role in elevating humanity at large. My Pisces risings. There could be this letting go with the first eclipse of this career, of this public persona, of what people think you are, what other people wanted from your world. It could be the industry you worked in is virtually shutting its door on you. You get let go, or like there's a fight with an authority figure, with a boss of some sort, where you're just like, this is not satiating me. This is not pleasing me. This is not fulfilling me. And so it could be an ending of a particular career for you, or just even realizing what I'm working towards, it no longer really satiates me. It's not making me happy. And this is a time I really want to prioritize myself and my needs, because the second eclipse, June 10th, is on your 4th house. So this could be really supported for homes. So for purchasing a new home, purchasing a new property. It also could be supported for just making decisions that make you feel good, that make you feel emotionally supported, emotionally free. If you're in a job that is draining the life force out of you, this sort of energy where you're like, I'm going to prioritize me. Of course, I would mention waiting to quit until the end of June, but notice if something bubbles up with being like, this job is not worth me draining my mental health every single day. Other Pisces risings could be starting a new journey of like working from home, or spending more time with family, or even like creating a family of their own, and sort of letting go of the status quo, what people wanted for your life, what you're meant to do, and being out in the limelight, and more so being like, what do I want for my world? How can I make myself happy, even if I have to be a little bit more private, a little bit closer to home? Friends, what do we think of the video? I would so appreciate if you learned anything new, like, subscribe, comment something below. I'm very, very open and receptive to feedback if there's a video you'd like to see. And I know eclipses can be scary, but truly open minds, open hearts, anchor down, ground down, fuel your body with nutrients, spend time in nature, spend time with people that you love. Take care of yourself during this sort of chaotic, frenzied time. This is gonna be kind of random, but I am a yoga instructor, and I was contemplating the idea of just creating like a quick 30-minute eclipse inspired yoga session, just because I find that doing yoga, particularly grounding postures, is super helpful during these frenzied sort of times. So if you'd be interested in that, let me know, comment below, and I would be more than happy to make it. My Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology, same with TikTok. And friends, until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay cosmic.